Well, Hinge Inquirer Publications basically has two core businesses right now. One is we publish what we call commercial magazines, or magazines whose content we create and whose content we try to sell. And the other one is custom publications. Those are basically publications where the content is supplied to us, or the content is mutually designed by us and a client. As a company, we'd want to be the premier niche publishing company in the country, meaning we publish magazines that cater to very specific interests. When we started out this business, the company's name was Hinge Media Incorporated. But on September 2005, we had a joint venture agreement with the with the Inquirer Group, and we formed a new company called Hinge Inquirer Publications, or HIP for short. Okay, when we started out, we were only 3, and we started out the business in my house here in Makati. The key people then were me, my wife, and a creative guy. So the graphic artist / creative director was laying out the magazine. I was doing the editorial functions, as well as coordinating the entire publishing process, and my wife was taking care of the sales. What's good about us was that except for my graphic artist, none of us really had experience with magazines. So we approached everything on a very trial and error basis. But what's good is that we approached everything out of the box. And I think that served us pretty well, although it had also its disadvantages, because we committed some very costly mistakes in the process. Well, the biggest struggle that we had is we got into so much debt. A debt that none of us could really get out of, because it's sort of we over-leveraged ourselves back then. And how did we get out of it? Basically, we borrowed and borrowed and borrowed, and for some reason, people just kept on believing in us. And eventually, we were able to repay all those debts back. And eventually, we had this joint venture agreement with the Inquirer Group. Anybody who's creating his or her own business, I'm sure, goes through all these struggles. But much of the pressure that we encountered during when we were setting up the business was really cash flow problems. And I would really suggest that for anybody getting into any form of business, that cash flow should be managed well, and that you don't just go into a business without having a concrete, without taking care of the capital requirements of the business. Just don't jump into it, because you just might find yourself saddled with so much debt at one point that you don't know how to get out of it already. A good publication, while being editorially sound, should also make good money. For HIP, actually, there's no really next big step that we plan to do. We just plan to continue doing what we're really good at, and that's creating top quality magazines the best way we can. But we were very confident that we'd succeed over the long run, for as long as we just keep on doing everything the most ethical way possible. We do everything the right way, that we do not antagonize any of our competitors in the process.
I may sound like your mother, but it's true.
I know, child, that's right. You do sound like my mother. But then again, you have a point. If you guys improve on your physical health, then you will be able to perform better professionally.
Well, all's well, ends well. Thank you for joining us today. Join us again next week as we open another door of business opportunities for you.
See you again next time. My name is Iko.
And I'm Chal.
At ito lang ang pinakabigating business show, ang Negosyo Big Time!